So it's not one of those things, we talk a lot about Bill 96. We talk a lot about Bill C-13, different things that have different issues for many of us here. What has not gotten talked about a lot is Bill 15. This is a provincial bill. And what's really interesting when I say Bill 15, we had Eric Maldoff on. I'm going back a few months when it became apparent that there's more to this bill than meets the eye. Yet when we had a minister on here, I guess it would have been Eric Girard not that long ago, and I said, there's a possibility here. There's an issue with Bill 15 that doesn't get talked about with respect to how patients will be treated and how much input they're going to have once this becomes law.
No, nothing to see
right.
here.
He
Everything's
said,
fine.
Yeah.
No, nothing's going to change. You're all good. You're fine.
And
Hush
basically
your pretty
dismissed
little
it out
head.
of hand. And you know what? We're not talking about that. You want to talk about Bill 96, fine, Bill 15, as if he either didn't know a whole lot about it or was in fact just being dismissive for that reason. Well, today, Paul BRUNET, who is a patient rights advocate, it joins us from time to time, is weighing in on this. And I wanted to get a different perspective because it's important to, not just from the sense of Anglos, but from the sense of patients who are going to be part of this new system we have here. Paul BRUNET is on the line. Monsieur BRUNET, thanks for your time today.
Hello, sir.
Give us an idea, if you don't mind, please, why you're concerned, what this bill means, and what you think will happen when it does become law.
Well, listen, as we speak, and in its present posture, Bill 15 abolishes more or less 150 users committees all over the province, CLSCs, Centre Jeunesse, and a lot of specialized hospitals. And, of course, all the people working in the users committees, for example, a resources person, which will make the only person in the users committee left for a whole lot of territory, all the work that's being actually worked on by different users committees, resources person. That's the first thing. Second thing is that nobody among users committees, wherever they are, whatever they do, can be nominated at any of the board of decision and without any influence. And it starts from the board of directors to any other important board where decisions are made or important issues are discussed, which is totally contrary to historic of the way that users committees were nominated. Let's remind everyone that Claude Brunet, my brother, inserted the concept of users committees in the 70s and early 80s so that users, wherever they are in any community, can have their word, can have their say in any decision and making representation and having a certain influence. That is totally quashed in the present bill. Even worse, now we're going to tell the establishment to evaluate itself. Evaluate itself about concerning the services that it renders among the users. To us, it's a little in conflict of interest, if I may
Sure.
say. So these are some of the things, and even from bad to worse, you have the new concept of the National Users Committee, which is totally politically nominated, and will have a say and will be able to survey and direct whatever users committees with any motivation still left of what they do, what they say, because the National Committee of Users will be nominated by the Board of Santé Quebec, which is totally politically nominated. So we're talking about political nomination, and of course, we went after that, and we want to confront the government. We notified all parties involved. We notified all the public, the media, as you know. And guess what? We got an answer a few hours after. The minister is open to make more amendments to its bill, and we'll see. We want to see. We don't want promises. We want to see if effectively users committees will have their say, and where the users committees will be able to delegate among their own people to any seat that will be created at the Board of Santé Québec, at the National Users Committees, or any important committee that is already in place, like the Vigilance Committee, the Management of Risk Committee, whereas nobody from no Users Committee, as we speak now, is authorized to be delegated to those boards. So if you want to have the Users Committees with some say and some importance, you need to authorize, like it is the case historically, you need to have them delegated, not having the political nomination as it is right now in Bill 15.
You know, you're describing, I think we both get this as you're describing this. This is the same situation as what happened with school boards, it would seem to me, right? Where the province stepped in and decided, you know what, boards, you don't need it. We know better than you.
Than anybody else.
Yeah. Now they want to do it in healthcare.
Yes. And it's to render, it's the same title, eh? It's to render the school functioning more efficient. Well, maybe it's going to be more efficient, I don't know, but it's not going to be more accessible to the citizen and the community, whereas these people should have their say. They are volunteers. They are the only one. Users committees in all communities of Quebec are the only one with the mandate to protect and defend the rights of users. And you're going to, subject them to political authority. So this doesn't make sense. And, of course, we're going to lose a lot of people, because when they hear and feel that they are being watched on by the big National Users Committee, you think they're going to still be motivated? I don't think so.
Mr. Brunet, I was thinking, just beyond this, I was going to say perceived conflict of interest, but I don't even think it's a perceived conflict of interest. I think we can say it is a conflict of interest. But this idea that they don't need to be accountable, almost, that's how I'm seeing it.
Yeah, as we speak now, before Bill 15, users committees have a mandate to evaluate the service and satisfaction of the users. This mandate is retracted from them and given to the health establishment itself. So the health establishment will evaluate the satisfaction and the measures that are being taken by
themselves.
Towards the citizens. So to me, it's pure conflict of interest, and I still want to think that the minister is going to change.
Well, let's go to that. So you've had communication. You've made your point, or you brought this up. You're getting an indication that they will listen. What kind of a firm commitment have they made, if any?
Well, that's the point. We heard some communique and declaration from the minister a few hours after the sending of our communique that it will make amendments and want to give the users committees the same same power and same relevancy that it has as we speak now. And I want to see it. Like I told some of his entourage, I said, listen, I don't want to hear about it. I want to see it in the law. So we'll see what's going to happen.
Okay. I'm glad someone is making this and bringing this up. We looked at this from a different perspective, Paul, when we talked to Eric Maldoff, and the idea was then, where the government says nothing will change in the healthcare system in Bill 96, yet we find out there are a lot of things buried deep in this that are in fact going to change. You're highlighting one. The other is, potentially English people not being able to be hired in the system. There's a lot more to this than we've been led to believe.
Absolutely. And I want to thank all the users committees representatives who helped us digging into those elements and be able to bring it to the public, to the media, and everywhere, and even to the minister. I suspect that even the minister did not know what his group at the ministry had cooked for him and for the public. But we have good news, and we're going to still be optimistic.
Paul Brunet, Patients' Rights Advocate. Paul, thank you so much. We appreciate the time today. Good luck.
Thanks to you.